Yo, 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 it's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor Alonzo Hall, and I've returned today with another ADH Wealth solution. Today, we'll begin to discuss fulfilling all of your financial needs. To contribute to channel growth, the links are in the description. To schedule an appointment of your own, or to purchase life insurance directly up to $1 million with no medical exam and an instant decision, my information is in the description. Lastly, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. And now, here's our next feature.
Wealth for themselves. So we all know that as we look closer at this, last year put right in front of us the disparities in America from the three crises that were in front of us. Right? You had the health crisis brought on by coronavirus. You had the economic crisis that because of the communities, the businesses, and everyday life was shut down. And then you had the social justice crisis. Of course, that was brought on building over many years, but really the killing of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery just pushed it to the limit that so much has created change in the community, in our country, right? And around this, as I look deeper, I believe that the disparity in experience and impact and ability to recover for families across the nation varied according to their household economics and their wealth accumulation. What did you have the bank to help you get through this? What access did you have to your equity in your home, your 401k, the life insurance? Where could you pull from, right? In the way of making sure that you're in the way of health, that we were offsetting the challenges that we have there. So when you think about the struggles of lack of insurance and access to health care, in the way of underlying conditions of food insecurity and being frontline workers, I believe that the root cause of these issues still stem back to economics. When you look at the impact of the economic downturn, who was furloughed, who was laid off, who wasn't able to work from home, right? Who were the majority of the mortgage delays? How many black businesses didn't get access or get payout from the PPP? I don't know that we've circled back to find out what was wrong in that system that we didn't get access to. Such to the point that 41% were projected to close permanently. And of course, when you look at the social justice, the social inequality, the social biases, the ongoing racist policies, the systemic racism, that still for me all come back down to the root cause being economic. So when we say we got to fix the system, I say we also must focus on financial stability and economic opportunity. So how do we get ahead? How do we create change in this? I think this is going to be a two-part strategy to fix the 400 years that got us here to this point. Right? We didn't just wake up today and say, what's wrong with the black folks that they can't get themselves together? You think about 246 years of slavery. That's 12 generations where education was withheld. Right? There was no wealth building opportunity. You were the property and the wealth builder for someone else. Right? Families were broken apart. The religion was taken away. Right? There was no, after 246, putting that back together. And even in the 100 years that followed, right, as black folks were resilient and they figured out how to do it themselves and started to even achieve, like with Black Wall Street, the purposeful burning and bombing of those things, lynchings, terrorism, to make sure that it wasn't the advancements in there. And even over these last 60 years, the struggles and the progress. There was a great clip this morning on CBS. I don't know if you saw that. They talked about home ownership disparities. And they talked about how the GI Bill, and they showed some areas here up north, how the soldiers that came back, those who were able to have access to home loans and education, 98% of that went to whites only. And so just thinking about the head start, soldiers who fought on the same line. We're not comparing to going back to the ghettos. We're talking about people in line, standing next to each other, weren't given the same opportunity. So to fix that, I believe that we have to figure out ways to reconcile and remediate and pay reparations for the past, to bring some parts of the black community in line, right? and I'm encouraged now that that there are those conversations being had, especially with the new administration. When you think about the affordable housing and business tax incentive, spending on education, maybe we'll have some progress there. But my bottom point here is that that's still dependent on the actions of others, right? On the other side, I believe that we've got to take on more personal action for ourselves. And by that, I mean steering our $1.4 trillion of annual earned income and continuing to leverage our 3% of the country's assets that we already own. With this now, I believe that if we start steering into more home ownership, business ownership, creating more inheritance that we can do, and which I'll talk more about, I think these are things that we can control, right? And we can make an impact on. So my end point here is that this is not either or. This is not just waiting around for a reparations check. And it's not continuing to say you just got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. This has to be a both and type scenario. And so this personal action space is what really drives me, gets me up, gets me fired up every day, right? Especially from the position that I held at New York Life Insurance for 17 years. It was a unique position. Is in this cultural marketing group, watching what other races, religions, and ethnic groups were doing with financial tools and strategies to create wealth and to make a better future for themselves and their families. And that really is what inspired me after I decided to leave, after we hit this $50 billion campaign, to put these notes, these ideas, these learnings into a book, to have a reference point that we could go back to, right? That I could share that these are things that I didn't even know, and that I took on for myself, and I want others to do the same. And so I want to talk from 4 of these chapters today, ways that what I think we could do for ourselves, what we could do for our family, and what we can do together for our community to create wealth and move to the next move to the next level. Okay, so rule number.
Hey folks, this last video was sponsored by my company, where we help people like you to reach their financial goals. We do this through a simple conversation where we help to identify and then protect your lifestyle, and then we implement a plan. The process starts at about an hour. So, if you want more information, or you want to schedule a consult, contact me via the information in the description box, and let's talk and see if we're actually a great fit for each other. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Thank you, and enjoy life.
Lover of law.